In a glimmering glade past a licorice stream lived Noodle the Newt, who could balance a dream. He wore tiny goggles of peppermint glass and danced with the shadows that tiptoed on grass. Each morning he greeted a squirrel named Fizz, who skated on toast in a tangerine fizz. Together they painted the winds into song and taught baby breezes to hum all day long. One evening arrived at a squirrel named Fizz, who skated on toast in a tangerine fizz. Together they painted the winds into song and taught baby breezes to hum all day long. One evening arrived a mysterious note tied gently to waffles afloat in a boat. Dear heroes of cheer, wrote the Muffin Queen May, my kingdom of snuggle lost snuggles today. So Noodle and Fizz packed up sparkling tea and rode on a hippo named Bibby Marquis. They passed Jelly Junction where lemurs serve stew and porcupines juggle sweet dumplings in two. At Cotton Candy Cliffs they picked up a frog named Grindel Von Lumps in a hat made of fog. Through pickles of poetry, snickerdoodle skies, we journey with joy and wide open eyes. For every giggle that's hidden away, we gather it softly and give it today. They arrived where the kingdom sat quiet and curled, as if all the cuddles had left from the world. Queen May stood alone in pajamas of pearl. She whispered like teacups forgot how to swirl. Then Noodle played lullabies soft on a spoon, and Fizz lit up candles that blinked like the moon. Grindel recited a riddle so bright that teddy bears giggled from pillows of light. The laughter returned in a caramel storm, and Snuggles came skipping in dandelion form. Oh, it's not just the pudding or socks that we miss, but courage that's shaped like a gumdrop's first kiss. The queen gently bowed with a cupcake bouquet and crowned them with joy at the close of the day. Pal, they built a new tower from jelly bean bricks and planted new songs in a garden of ticks. Yeah, so when cozy goes missing or smiles run away, just follow the trail where the giggle lights play. With spoons full of music and ticklish glue, the world wraps you warm in a blanket of true.
On a pillow of thunder and blueberry light lives the skunk who glowed in the night.
She baked glowing cookies and juggled with stars, and napped with two beetles in jelly bean jars. Her neighbor was Gumbly, a fox full of fizz, who drew maps and pudding and labeled them whiz. One day through the sky rode a ribbon of gold, a scroll from Queen Pebble with stories untold. She's lost all the laughter in Sprinkleshire Hill, and seeks someone brave with a jelly bean quill. So Sip It and Gumbly packed pepper jam toast, then whistled for Bumble, their hot cocoa ghost. They flew on a scooter made from old flan, steered by a toucan named Jelly Clan. In the forest of lost socks where blueberries sing, they met Countess Rollo, who gifted a wing. They stitched it with sprinkles and marshmallow lace, and painted on jokes with a lemon pie face. Both found us for tears and stardust for glue. A sprinkle of stories can carry you through. In the forest of lost socks where blueberries sing, they met Countess Rollo, who gifted a wing. They reached Sprinkleshire, where giggles once bloomed. Now benches sat silent and muffins unbloomed. Queen Pebble sighed deeply, her crown full of dust. I forgot how to sparkle, I forgot how to trust. Then Bumble sang softly and Gumbly tapped feet, while Sip It spun sugar and lavender beat. The air turned to frosting, the clouds started clapping, and laughter returned with a sound like toe tapping. The queen laughed so hard that her crown turned to cake, and fountains of jelly erupted in lake. Oh, then everyone gathered with spoons and balloons, and hugged every cactus and fed it warm tunes. The kingdom remembered how dry rice is lost through crumbs and forgiveness and raspberry pods. Now Sip It and Gumbly serve cocoa each night to dreamers who journey through peppermint flight. Yeah, so if ever the chuckles feel distant or gone, just travel to kindness and sing your own song. With beetles and cookies and whiskers and bloom, the tail sticks and love always brighten the room. Now Sip It and Gumbly serve cocoa each night to dreamers who journey through peppermint flight. Yeah, so if ever the chuckles feel distant or gone, just travel to kindness and sing your own song. With beetles and cookies and whiskers and bloom, the tail stitched in love always brighten the room. Yeah, yeah. In a village on stilts by a Kuka seashore lived Nebby the mouse with a peppermint oar. He fished for old laughter and chocolate tide, and bottled the giggles for friends far and wide. His neighbor was Puddle, a duck with one shoe, who baked moonlight muffins and syrupy blue. Each Tuesday they sailed in a teacup canoe with jam lantern sails and a marshmallow crew. One day from the clouds came a whisper so sweet, the princess of gumdrops has lost all her beats. So Nebby packed pickles and honeycomb maps, and Puddle tied friendship to 2 biscuit caps. They flew past the mountains of lemon and glee, where goats played the harp in a bubblegum tree. They met a kind bingo named Scribble the sage, who scribbled out riddles on pancakes with age. Scribble said rhythm lives under the fern, where butterflies juggle and strawberry turn. We follow the kindness, we follow the rhyme, through gingerbread jungles and peppermint time. When kiddos go missing, we bring them anew, with pickles and poems and peppermint glue. They reached Candy Valley where silence had spread. The gumdrop princess just stared at her bed. My rhythm, she whispered, just floated away. Now nothing feels bubbly, not even ballet. Then Nebby and Puddle began to compose a lullaby written on watermelon toes. The flatbirds all echoed the harmony tune, while jellyfish lanterns blinked soft like the moon. The beat reappeared in a biscuit-shaped breeze. It danced through the pastries and tickled the trees. The princess stood tall with a laugh so sincere, it echoed through houses of marmalade cheer. She said, "You've reminded my heart how to sing, with joy that's more golden than sugar in spring." Bo. She gifted the duo a crown made of twirl, and hosted a feast for the whole candy world. So if ever your rhythm feels distant and cold, just follow the crumbs where sweet stories unfold. Where whiskers bring wisdom and ducklings wear boots, the music of kindness forever takes root. You were bait from the clouds, came a whisper so sweet. The princess of gumdrops has lost all her beat. So Nebby packed pickles and honeycomb maps, and Puddle tied friendship to 2 biscuit caps. They flew past the mountains of lemon and glee, where goats played the harp in a bubblegum tree. They met a kind dingo named Scribble the sage, who scribbled out riddles on pancakes with age. Scribble said rhythm lives under the fern, where butterflies juggle and strawberry turn. When giggles go missing, we bring them anew, with pickles and poems and peppermint glue. Reached Candy Valley where silence had spread. The gumdrop princess just stared at her bed. Who painted perfume. His tail held a palette of raspberry blue, and dreams whispered softly like cinnamon dew. He met Clito the koala, who rapped with delight on spoons made of fudge in the glow of starlight. They planned an adventure both daring and grand, to build a tall castle of cloudberry sand. With Fizzle the finch in her peppermint vest, they soared on hot pancakes to journey the west. The forest of fluff gave them riddles to read, where mushrooms grew stories and s'mores turned to seeds. Sir Buttonbeak Moose with a trumpet of tea joined in the quest with his hat full of glee. They crossed Jelly Junction where pickles wear shoes, and fairies mix laughter with strawberry news. A cavern of custard concealed a bright bell that echoed out kindness and caramel spell. Oh, follow the tail through the bubblegum shade, with turnips that giggle and cookies parade. No worry too heavy, no dream out of view, with friends and a whisker you'll always pull through. Castle they built stood on crumpet-sized hills, with marshmallow spires and blueberry sills. Inside a sweet lion named Melody Bloom conducted an orchestra sweeping the room. She played a soft waltz on a licorice flute, and songs grew like peaches on marzipan root. A snail with gold slippers brought lanterns of light that shimmered like jam drops and blinked through the night. The castle lit up like a pastry and song, and everyone cheered, "This is where we belong." For castles aren't made from this frosting and flair, but laughter, forgiveness, and strawberry air. And anyone kind with a biscuit to lend will always discover a story to mend. Well, so Ringo and Clico and Buttonbeak too stayed in their castle with marshmallow view. And if you hear music while drifting to sleep, it might be their lullaby softly and deep. For tales made with giggles and jam never end. They circle the world like a cinnamon friend, yeah do. So Rindle and Cleeko and Buttonbeak too stayed in their castle with Marshmallow View. And if you hear music while drifting to sleep, it might be their lullaby softly and deep. For tales made with giggles and jam never end. They circle the world like a cinnamon friend, yeah do. The castle they built stood on crooked-sized hills with marshmallow spires and blueberry sills. Inside a sweet lion named Melody Bloom conducted an orchestra sweeping the room. In a village on stilts by a cocoa seashore lived Nibby, the mouse with a peppermint oar. He fished for all the laughter in chocolate tide and bottled the giggles for friends far and wide. His neighbor was Puddle, a duck with one shoe, who baked moonlight muffins in syrupy blue. Each Tuesday they sailed in a teacup canoe with jam lantern sails and a marshmallow crew. One day from the clouds came a whisper so sweet, the princess of gumdrops has lost all her beat. So Nibby packed pickles and honeycomb maps, and Puddle tied friendship to 2 biscuit caps. They flew past the mountains of Lennon